Working with the metric system, we are going to be using prefixes in the metric system, which are multipliers. And the most important part of the metric system will be kilo. There will be 2 units, unity, deci, centi, milli, two spaces, and then micro. And notice that micro is a U with a long tail on the left side of it. It is actually the Greek letter M. If you use the symbols font in your word processor, the M will be written as a mu, and that is a small m. You will be using the metric system the way you use money. For example, $5 would be 50 dimes or 500 cents, and we're going to be using that same concept. It's important to know the spacing, so it's important to know that kilo, for example, to mega, this is 1,000, this is 1,000,000. There are, 3 decimal places. There are 3 steps to go from kilo to mega. So, if you had 5 kilometers and wanted to change it to centimeters, you are at kilometers and you are going to move the decimal point enough steps to get it to centimeters. So if you notice in this move, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps to the right. So we're going to take the decimal point where it is assumed to be at the end of the number, and we're going to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to the right, which gives us 500,000. Now, what you see happening is that this unit is smaller, so the number that goes with it needs to get larger. So it's kind of like you are on a seesaw. If the unit gets smaller, the number that goes with it needs to get larger, or vice versa. In the second example, we are going from nanometers to decimeters. Well, here's nanometers, and we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 places to get to decimeters. But now we need to realize where the decimal point is, which again is at the end of the number, at the right of the number. Since there is no decimal point in the number, we need to make an assumption that it's at the right of the number, and then we're going to move it a total of 8 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros in front of that 6. I had some extra zeros there just to give myself room to work. And there's our decimal point. Make sure you only have one decimal point in a number. Don't leave both decimal points in. And so, for example, when you are doing some of these problems, again, I like to use this shortened. These are the prefixes you really need to be familiar with. So, for example, if we were going from micrometers to decimeters, I'm at micro and I need to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to put more zeros on here. And there's a 0 that was already there. And that would be 0.0000003 decimeters. You have this 0, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. If I'm going from milliseconds to seconds, I'm going from milli back to unity because there's no prefix here. So I need to go back 3 positions, and that is 5. And 60 kilofeet to decifeet, I'm going from kilo to deci, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going 4 places forward, but I start after the 0 and the 60, and I add 4 zeros. And again, if you look at this picture, you can see the size of these numbers. Here is kilo, which is 1,000. Here is mega, which is 1 million. Here is giga, which is 1 billion. And then we have deci, which is 0.1, and 0.01, then 0.001. So 0 point, and then those are the zeros after that. So remember, here's the decimal point, and these are the zeros after it. In doing the other part of the project, if you were working on this, for example, if you take the 5 decigrams here, there is one position between some of these numbers. Okay, what happened to my pen? Oh, there we go. Okay. There are 3 positions between mega and kilo. There are 3 positions between kilo and unity. There is 1 decimal place between unity and deci, 1 between deci and centi, 1 between centi and milli, and 3 between milli and micro. And if you're going in this direction, the unit is getting smaller, so the number will get bigger. So 5 decigrams, if I want to put that in centigrams, it will become 50. If I want to put that in milligrams, I will move the decimal 1 more place over, and it will become 500. And if I want to put it into micrograms, I will need to move it 3 more places, and it will become 500,000. Going in the other direction, if I go back to unity where it is just grams, I will be moving 1 place back, which will make it 0.5, and I'll go 0.5. And if I want to make it in kilograms, I will need to go back 3 places. So here's my 5, and then I'm going to go back 3 places. Decimal point will be there. And then back to megagrams, I will need to move 3 more places. So I have the 5, and I need to go 3 more places back. And again, I can put a 0 in front of it if you like, or I don't need to. And with problems like this, for example, let's review this. cc's to liters. Remember, for cc's, I want to change that into milliliters. And then milli back to liters, I will be moving back 3 places. So that would be 0.300 liters. Oh, that certainly doesn't look right. Anyway, the rest of these you can give these a try if you want to work with a scientific notation. You can, but remember that all of these units will need to be adjusted to either liters or milliliters. I think that's all the ones I see. Okay, hopefully this helps.